Good morning, guys. Yes, Doa Cookie back, and I'm here with my coffee. It's iced coffee with cookie today. Yes, I'm in my backyard. It's pretty early in the morning, and I thought I'd just sit down and have some coffee, have a bit of a chit chat, go over some of Chantal's antics on her little live stream today. My co-host is to the right of me. He is cleaning himself, so we're not going to interrupt him right now. He's bathing. He's naked. He's naked. So let's leave him alone. So, oh yes, and I just want to preface the video today. Anything that I do or say today is all just jokes. Yes, it's all just jokes. So anything that you might think is mean or negative or rude or offensive, don't worry about it, guys. It's just jokes. Yep, because if it's just jokes, it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't matter if you're offended because it's just humor. It's humor. It's the funnies. Okay, so I was just letting you know, so don't worry. Don't be offended because it's just jokes. Okay, so the first 2 points are if we don't like the zoo, don't watch. True. If you don't like her zoo stuff, don't watch it. If you don't like the way the animals are treated over there, oh, trigger warning. Thinking about the zoo, if that triggers you, please just skip this part. It'll only be short. If you don't like the zoo stuff, don't watch it. Simple as that. And a lot of us get upset with the way that we see the animals. It's not her fault. She doesn't run the zoo. We don't like the way that she thinks it's all funny and cute and has a great time and doesn't notice the deplorable conditions, which makes us think that she doesn't think about how the animal should be cared for, because we know she's not a very good pet owner. So it all just plays in together. It's not her fault the zoos are that way, but we just don't like how she doesn't notice how the conditions might be a little bit what we're used to seeing. And a lot of us have feelings around zoos that we don't like. So if you don't like them, don't watch them. Simple as that. The other thing is she talks about her love of food. Foodie doesn't have a love of food. If she did, she would eat a variety of food. She just sticks to the highly salty, sugary, deep fried stuff that she's always eaten, that she's always liked. She isn't a foodie. She is a consumer. She's a high volume, highly palatable food. If it's got fat and sugar and salt in it and you've stuck it in oil, she's all about it. And carbs, great. And you know what? These foods aren't bad. There aren't bad foods. But it's what we see her eat all the time. A lot, like consistently. She's not losing weight because this is what she's eating a couple of times a day, every day. You eating this kind of thing, if you have it maybe once, twice, even 3 times a week, and you eat really well the rest of the time, and you keep your portions relatively in normal size, you're going to be fine, but not at the rate she's eating it. And I want her to get this through her head. She is not a food lover. She is a lover of eating. She loves to eat. She does not love food, because if she loved food, she wouldn't be eating the garbage that she's eating. Just saying. A couple of people and myself and somebody close to me has mentioned that she's delving more into like the feeder type content. And this is where seeing the full body shots of her eating and seeing massive portions and the way she ate the teriyaki chicken. It's more like her typical way that she used to eat when she was at home in Canada. Big mouthfuls, right in the face, stuff falling off. This is what the feeders like to see. So and it's not dainty. She's not covering the mouth. She's not taking little bites. She's really starting to open herself up and showing a lot more of who she is to Sala. And whether Sala's grossed out, we don't know because he's off camera. Whether he's into it, he's off camera. But she's obviously looking for that money, or she's getting requests for types of feeds, or she's trying to attract 2 types of new audience: the Islamic faith, the Middle Eastern population, and she's trying to get back some of those feeders that have left because she's not doing feeder type content. And the meal that she ate, the teriyaki chicken, had some elements of that feeder-esque type of thing. And then the big barbecue plate, that also had some feeder type content. The way she was eating it, not necessarily, like she was hoeing it in, like eating rapidly with big bites, but it wasn't really messy enough to be typically feeder style food. But showing her full body while she's eating, that definitely was. So there is definitely some engagement for a couple of different audience types there. And she did admit that it was just apparently her and Salah they both just sat down apparently and ate that entire barbecue platter. Yep. Just the two of them. That was a lot of food for two people. So I'm just saying, like, wow. And so she's also had a go at the content creators, reaction channels, that they steal footage, that they don't create anything. So yes, they do. They create a place for people who don't have a say to go. Because she only allows people who have a paid membership to physically talk to her, all 10 of them, people have got things they want to say, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. People don't have anywhere to put it. So what creators do, it's like if you went to, let's go to a convention center, and it's a Foodie Beauty convention center. Each different little room has been set up for people to go, and each one of them has a reaction channel sitting in it. So what that means is that person can go through that door, sit down, grab a chair, and listen and engage with that content creator. And every room's sort of set up in their own vibe. It's lit in a certain way. It's decked out with a certain type of furniture. It gives you an ambiance, an environment, a feeling, a vibe. And people go to the room that they enjoy. And if they're done with that one, they can move over to another one, and they can put their thoughts and feelings and engage with that creator in that room. And all of this is because Foodie has created an environment where any detractor or anything she doesn't like gets blocked. We don't listen to that. We hate them. Get rid of them. Blah. And people still have feelings and thoughts. And it's not just enough to sit in your chair at home and yell at your phone and be like, no, that's not true. Some people feel the urge to put it somewhere. And some people feel the urge to create a channel to say those things. It's not an obsession. It's just, it makes you feel better to get it out sometimes and to have fun and engage with other like-minded people. YouTube is the new water cooler. We don't have water coolers at work where we can stand around and go, did you see the latest episode of Friends? Oh my God, it was so funny. I love Rachel's hair. We can't do that anymore. We watch Foodie on the YouTube, and then we go to work. We can't go to work and talk to our colleagues about it or our best friends about it because they don't watch it, because they don't understand. So what we do is we go to a room, and then we'll be like, oh, hi, Oceana Song. Hi, Natural Ginger. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Skinny. What are you guys doing today? Did you see what she did? Or did you see what she said? That's so cute, or that's so not great, or I really like this, or I'd try to make that. We're engaging with people who understand the context, and we can get it out. And then after we get off the YouTube, we'll go and call our best friend and go, hey girl, do you want to go to Cactus Jack's? We'll go have some tacos. Yeah, let's go. And then we'll go and talk about the things that I have context with her about, with them about, or go and talk to my husband about his stupid games and power tools and stuff. This is a small pocket of things that we do. Chantal doesn't take over our lives. She is a small part of it. And that's what content creators do. They create a little pocket of outlet for that. And then when we log off, we go and do other stuff. So for her to say that we steal her content, no. That would be like me going and watching a game of football and then going back to my best friend or making a YouTube video saying that game was crap. I didn't enjoy it. The flow of play was terrible. They didn't play the ball, that tackle, that call. No, I'm not stealing the game of football. I'm talking about the game of football. I'm commenting on the game of football. It's the same thing. I haven't stolen anything. I'm just giving my opinion on it. That is creating an environment, a context, and a back and forth. That's what reactors do. How well they do it matters, and how they do it matters. But it's not stealing. If I just screen record exactly what you've said and done, post it on my channel and say, Foodie Beauty, live stream, DEK, and I say nothing, do nothing, give no thoughts or opinions, that is literally me stealing the content. But when I add my salt and pepper and my seasonings to it, that's what makes it mine. My reaction makes it mine. Yeah? Okay, cool. Just wanted to get that out there. And the statement that she makes is that, oh, most of the people that call us fat are fat themselves. Then that would make it okay, wouldn't it? Like fat on fat crime? Who would know better than somebody who's fat? or has been fat, what it's like to call out your crap, because they themselves are a fatty. So yes, they bathe. Yes, they don't eat like that. Yes, they try to help themselves, whereas you don't. You can call out like for like. But then in that same conversation, it's like, well, how can you talk about me because you're fat too? Your opinion is invalidated because you're fat. You don't, what you say matters not. So I don't understand what she's trying to say. Either a fat person understands you or a fat person is invalidated. I don't know. She makes no sense. And I'm not going to touch on this much because I think it's really gross and I don't really like it. People donated money to FFG for an animal shelter in her area because she cares for dogs. Her dog's passed away and there are circumstances behind that I don't want to talk about, but there are reasons why both her dogs passed away close together. There's a whole syndrome that dogs can get, that when one passes away, the other will closely follow. It's got something to do with attachments. And it's a thing. It's an actual thing. If you want to Google it, Google it. But if they're idiots, who are the idiots who gave you money for your postcard tier, who never received a postcard? I guess it might be the same caliber of idiot, but one comes from generosity and the other ones come because they're stupid and they want to suck up your ass. And for anybody who's paid every month, you are the biggest fool. And if you still think you're going to get postcards, you're the biggest idiot on the internet. No more stupid than anybody who's paid for your postcard tier, Chantal. That's who. As far as cleaning, Foodie cleans now, guys. Now, for someone who has an entire villa that she never cleaned, having a small living/kitchen area and one bedroom and maybe a small half bath to take care of isn't a lot of maintenance. For someone like Chantal, who's not very physically fit, probably feels like a mansion to clean. But when you have such a small space to clean, it's very easy to take care of. When you've got hardly any kitchen to take care of, easy. And if it's a shared kitchen, probably you just got to wipe up after yourself and do a bit of washing up. It's not a lot of maintenance. I want to see how good this cleaning routine is when she has to go back to a full-sized villa. And I'm pretty sure Salah probably does a lot of the mopping and sweeping and stuff like that. He probably helps because I feel like he's probably used to looking after himself. So yeah, so I do not think Foodie is not cleaning an entire house, chasing after an entire family, even just looking after herself. But it's not a big deal to take care of a living room, a small kitchenette and a half bath. Whoop-de-frickin' do. With two people in it. How much? You buy takeaway, there's hardly anything to do. Just got to sweep and mop the floor every other day. Wipe a bench. There's not a lot of cleaning to be done. You've got all the time in the world to do your laundry, so those buyers should be ship-shape. But yeah, I want to see how well she takes care of that villa. How long is it going to take before we get Box Mountain back? Yes. Way to go. And she says she's doing a lot more than other people. What people? Who is she talking about? Because not a lot of people get to live the lifestyle that Foodie does, where you get to do nothing all day and then sit and eat on camera and get paid. She may walk around, but who are these lot of people? The only people I know that kind of live a lifestyle like Foodie are addicts, doll bludgers, people who don't like to do work, who just sit at home, and not people who are forced to be at home via disability, mental health or physical, or they're a caretaker, or they're unable to find, they're actively seeking work and they cannot find work because they're not skilled or they're not living in the right area. I'm talking about people who are just like, I'm going to do everything I can not to have to go to work and get my benefits, or choose not to work, just stay home and their partner takes care of them and that's it, and they don't do anything. There are people that, and it's like 1% of the population are people like that, and the people like Foodie who just do not want to work. But most of the people I know have jobs of one kind or another, whether they're working in the home as a parent, mother, caretaker, or they own their own business, they have children. I work I'm supposed to be part-time. I'm supposed to work 3 days a week, 4 days a week now, 4 days a week. But I work basically like full-time. And that's just simply because that's what my work requires me, but I'm supposed to work 4 days a week. I've got the luxury of being able to do that. But then I've also got my home to take care of. I've got grown-up kids, so I don't have to worry about grown-up, like taking care of kids. I have my cat. I have my hobbies, which is my music, my exercise, my weight loss, my movies, going to the beach, hanging out with my husband. I have other things to do, and my lifestyle is pretty common for the people that live around me and the people that I know. They go to church, they go to taekwondo, they go to the gym. What else? I've got somebody else who's a gamer part-time, like, and they've got kids, and then he does that with his partner, and people have full big lives. I don't know a lot of people who live like Foodie, who has no hobbies, no skills, can't cook, can't sing, can't act, barely moves. She can walk around a zoo for an hour or two, and that's a big accomplishment, a huge, massive. Now, it would be a huge accomplishment for somebody who perhaps has been physically disabled through illness or disease or an accident, and they've had to work their way back up to movement. But Foodie hasn't had any of that. She's just got physical ailments that were self-induced, and she's now making a big palaver that she can walk around for an hour, and she can stand up. Oh my Lord. Yes, she can stand up for an hour in the kitchen. That would be wonderful if we knew that she was like working her way back from something. She was conquering something, but no, she's not working on her health. She's not, because she's not eating right. She's still drinking all the full sugar soft drinks, and she's still not eating right. So she's not actually overcoming anything. And because of the rage, we know that she's not working on anything emotional, because she's actually slipping just ever so slightly every single time she comes on camera back to that Foodie, because this was a Foodie rage. There wasn't the yelling, there wasn't the burping, there wasn't the farting, there wasn't the weird voices, but the tone was there, and I could feel it. I found it difficult to watch her because she actually makes me feel quite angry and not ragey, but angry, because I know the things that she's saying is not true. It's her perception. So in my reality, what she's saying is not true. In her reality, it probably is, because God, if it wasn't, her truth is awful. So she has to make up these delusions and perpetuate these images that she has of herself, because if she actually looked at the truth of who she is and how she acts and the things she says, she wouldn't like herself either. She wouldn't, and she doesn't. We know she doesn't. But she has to say these things because she doesn't like the core of who she is. So she's slowly slipping back to that Foodie. I don't think we're ever going to get like a yelly, screamy rage like we used to. But the tone and the feeling behind her nasty words and the things she says are true to form. She's getting there, and she's letting those little bits of herself slip, and Sala's allowing it. Whether he can stop her or not, because I don't know. We don't know what their relationship thing is. It's stupid. What we do know what it isn't, but we don't know the actual arrangement between them. But he sits there and giggles. He sits there and watches. He doesn't comment. He just moderates. And she says terrible things. She has terrible ideas and thoughts and perceptions of things. And she's getting nasty again. She's getting rude. She's getting mean again. So undoubtedly, by the time she gets back to Canada, she's going to drop an edible, she's going to get greened out, and she's going to giggle and rage. And that's what we're used to with Foodie. And so I think people are like, oh, we recognize this Foodie. She may have the hijab on, but we see her. We see who she is. So whatever she went to Kuwait to accomplish has failed, because she's not changed on the inside, or in her heart or in her head. She hasn't changed. She's still binging on fast food. She's binging on camera, and she's being an asshole on camera. Foodie's still in there. She's not gone anywhere. She's just wearing a different costume, but the guts of her is still the same. And Foodie is curious about what makes her a lol cow. Well, the community's decided, so therefore it is. It's your behavior. It's the ridiculous things you do. It's the ridiculous things you say, and the stupid things you thought, the stupid things you think, and then say out loud. Yes, that's what it is. It's the conversations about the Jewish people, 9/11, the little kids, the comment about the 3 little bees in Egypt, the things you've said about Kofi, the way you've behaved, your entire relationship with Nada makes you a lol cow. Your mukbanging, the fact that you sent yourself to the ER with cheese, the farting, the burping, your behavior, that's what makes you a lol cow. That is what makes you a lol cow. I don't know how else to explain it. You're a spectacle. Therefore, people want to talk about you. Your behaviors make people want to talk about you. If Yabba's not a lol cow, that's on her audience to decide. The community just doesn't look at it that way. She doesn't put out the content of every last detail of her life and stream it for people to comment on. She doesn't get to be a lol cow because there's not enough content. There's not enough drama, controversy of her to be seen, to be made into a lol cow. You've put out the content there for us to see and go, whoa, this person is a little, woo, we don't, woo. That's, I want to say something about that. And then reaction channels are created. It's the environment you create that makes you a lol cow. That's how it works. You put enough content out there, people are going to discuss your life. That's how it is. And if you're awful, you'll turn into one. I don't make the rules. Okay, so then my last point is how she was going off about the inappropriate joke about life by Jen. How Jen's passed away and making jokes about her is offensive. I agree. 100% agree. Let's just not do that because it's just uncomfortable and it's not nice and it feels weird and it does feel a bit disrespectful. But I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do, but I don't like that. However, Foodie, the hypocrite, her chat was making jokes about Jen on the day that she found out that Jen had passed away. And Foodie was sitting there high, stuffing her face with cheese, laughing at these jokes when we just found out that she'd passed away. And Chantal was sitting there laughing at inappropriate, sick jokes about Jen's passing. So she can take that attitude and stick it where the sun has never shone. It hasn't shone for years. Hypocrisy, Foodie. Hypocrisy. You do not have a leg to stand on when telling anyone, what's appropriate or inappropriate behavior. Yeah. And I just want to say, I don't know about you guys, but I just don't feel like Foodie touches the hijab enough. I need to see more. If her hands are away from her face, I'm going to get mad. I need constant touching. And the fact that there are pauses in between touches is driving me mental. I need it all up in her face, constant twitching, because unless she's twitching and tweaking it and pulling at it, I'm not satisfied. And that's my last statement on it. Right? Right. So yes, I'm just going to have another little sip of my iced coffee. Yum. Yes, this is an old Makona jar. I love using these. Keeps the drink nice and cold, and it's a nice big volume, so no petty little tiny drinks for this gal. So yeah, so if you have any thoughts, let me know. Put them in the comments. If you liked this video, like it. If you don't like this video, let me know. And if you really could, subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
In the day when everything was open wide, I keep dreaming. Think it's okay for us to take another ride, yeah. Oh, we should be hiding out wherever we may find love that's flowing on.